Howdy Hotties! The best and hottest Indian radio network in the entire world!
Mahima Creations
Proudly present Premier Evening Drive Time Show! Pampam!
Yes, you heard it right.
Pampam! Every
Monday,
Tuesday,
Wednesday,
Thursday,
Friday. Let's beat the traffic.
नमस्कार
नमस्ते
नमस्कार
वणक्कम
खुशामदी
अस्सलाम वालेकुम
सत श्री अकाल
మీకందరికీ వందనము
जय स्वामीनारायण
जय श्री कृष्ण
जिनेंद्र
इस्माइल भाई बंदे को बोल दे या अली मदद
मलाली मतलब बोलते हैं सारे फीचर मतलब बोलेंगे नीसा बोला बटजन आ गए हैं हम आपके प्यारे महिमा के द्वारा मैं से फालतू ब्लैक शिप
and myself of course your darling pyari faltu rani that is as hot as the fa and as comforting as the fa and of course just sheep
eh?
yeah
What does sheep mean?
You're black sheep. I am not black sheep.
Yeah,
I
she
am
is.
just
Yeah.
very simple and pure and innocent like the sheep.
She's like bah.
Bah. Easily led by black sheep.
See, you got the herd
It's
mentality. I can't help it, dude. You have the herd mentality.
No,
not
I don't.
me.
I don't have
But
that.
doesn't matter, Faltari. Today is not about you and I, but actually it is about you and I.
क्या आप सोच रहे हैं what the heck are they talking about?
Yes,
well,
but if at all, it seems like as if whenever we actually get on air, it's like the war between her and me. The gender wars, it's exactly what it is.
There is
It's
no gender
man
wars.
versus woman today. Faltwani, you are the person who picked the title man versus woman today.
Yeah.
Now, really, what are you trying to say here? Is it like, are you trying to bring the men up to the competition level of women right now?
I said,
Is that what you're doing right now? Are you trying to just graduate us to the level of...
somebody say beg the men up to the competition.
See, my sticker on my laptop actually tells very clearly. I am all for ending this gender war. I don't like the gender war. Globally, I want to end the gender war.
What is the sticker? I can't see it.
Oh, it's about ending the gender war,
Oh, really?
I don't know why we have to fight so much, Fatwani. But anyway, so because it's given, we already have said women are winning. Women already are, like, superpowers we know it, right? Yeah, what hair?
What?
What?
Women are superpowers. Okay, Alto
Oh,
Baba.
you don't think so?
Nice to hear you say that right now.
What do you mean nice? I've been saying it for quite some time already.
Acha.
But doesn't matter. Today, like in men versus women, specifically what we're talking about today. I will talk because generally our topic is all around surrounding cinema, right? Are you going to bring it around that? I hope you bring it around because otherwise men are losing hands down anyways.
Well, Alto Baba.
Yeah.
लोग कहते हैं कि there's a difference between why differences arise between man and woman is because men are from Mars and women are from Venus. ऐसे बोलते हैं, right?
No, both are from
जैसे
Earth.
तुम समझते हो मैं समझता नहीं हूँ जैसे मैं समझती हूँ तुम समझते नहीं हो that kind of thing they say, right? That a man will never get it.
समझोगे तो आप दोनों ना समझो ना.
नहीं दोनों क्यों ना समझ हो
अच्छा.
Very nice. Not falling for all that, okay, Alto?
What do we not fall for? Seriously, that's why I say the sticker out there, please follow the sticker.
Watch out, Bandhujan. This is one like you don't know. He'll talk from both sides of his face. So
What do we both? I listen for both sides of my face.
Ha 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 for the guys, ha 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 for the girls.
No,
also.
I don't do that.
Yeah,
I do ha 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 for the girls and I go swaha for the guys. Because that's so the guys get sacrificed there. Pachak, pachak. Yeah, because okay, Father, coming back to the point. Today we're not just talking about because if you look at in terms of any aspect of it, right, women are way superior than men.
That
right?
is true, actually.
But when you say man versus woman, why can't you say woman versus man?
Why can't we say women versus man?
Yeah.
Well, we can say women versus man, but I wanted M Mondays. I wanted it to start.
Oh, for
like
a matter convince it's okay to change it.
What? Nonsense. Be quiet, man. कुछ भी बोलेगा ये that fellow.
Okay, coming back to the point, Father. So we got a big reference to what, right? The left-hand side we have our cinema. Cinema is something which you really, are for, right? So tell me one thing, Father. This particular thing, what are you doing?
मैंने कहीं और जाके पोस्ट कर दिया हमारा meme. Sorry, but okay, never mind. Go ahead.
Seriously, Faltwani, what are you doing, Faltwani? Please. अच्छा भाई, coming back to the point. पहले हमारे बंधु लोगों को बताओ क्या पूछ रहे बंधु लोगों से? Are you like asking them whether they would like to go watch a female-oriented movie? नहीं यार, we're overkill. We've done a lot of female-oriented movies, right?
No, Alto Baba, I'm not talking about female-oriented movies.
And then what are you talking about today?
What I'm specifically talking about today
Is hero versus heroine? I will say hands-on heroine only.
Huh? No, it's
It
not.
was hero versus
It's
heroine.
not hero versus heroine. एक मिनट
हाँ.
कान खोल के सुन, तेरे को
Wait.
समझ में आएगा.
Wha-
What we are talking about today is in terms of our world views and हमारे जो perspectives हैं एक ही situation को लेके.
हाँ.
जैसे हम लोग उस situation को कैसे मतलब परखते हैं, कैसे हमारा जो perspective होता है वो कैसे differ होता है.
Very good.
मतलब एक आदमी के नजरिए से और एक औरत के नजरिए से
हाँ.
जब एक कहानी को बुना जा सकता है,
आहा.
लाइक यू नो, या एक कैरेक्टर लिखा जा सकता है,
ओहो.
तो कैसे होता है.
कैसे होता है?
इनफैक्ट हम लोग रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी में काफी सारे एग्जाम्पल्स ले सकते हैं, लेकिन उसके लिए मुझे जहाँ तक मालूम है हमारे मेल बंधुस इतने forthcoming नहीं है. They cannot actually, I don't see a lot of our male bandhus actually sharing their heartfelt perspectives for whatever reasons best known to them. The women are more forthcoming with their ideology.
Wow. Is that what you're saying?
Tuna.
So directly to ekdam, you just threw the men under the bus right now.
I didn't throw anybody under the bus.
That's okay. It's fine. I understand.
I am just saying, Alto Baba.
So women are more forthcoming than men.
Huh?
Women are more forthcoming than men.
Women are more forthcoming in terms of our show and expressing their heartfelt sentiments. I feel women are more.
So men don't do heartfelt expression of it.
I don't think men do. Yeah.
Why is that? Why do you think that? Why do you think so?
I at least on air लोग अपने आप को spot पे नहीं लगाना चाहते हैं. लोग दिल से नहीं बोलना चाहते हैं because for fear of being judged.
Judged by whom?
Judge, I don't know. They probably are scared.
Judged by the women or judged by men?
Yeah, who knows?
So judged by their peers you're talking about. Men will not share anything because they feel judged by the peers.
Could be.
But women are okay with it.
Could be. I don't know. That's what I feel. तो आज हम लोग क्या करेंगे? Instead of taking रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी के मतलब thing, we'll express it through हमारी हिंदी फिल्म इंडस्ट्री.
Very good.
जैसे कहानियां लिखी जाती हैं, राइट? तो एक औरत को कौन से नजरिए से पोर्ट्रे किया गया है, especially just the imagery of a woman or the characterization of a woman in the Hindi film industry.
Nice.
No, I'm not talking about that. हाँ, जहाँ पे औरत को मतलब short skirts पहना दिया है ऐसे वैसे. No, I'm not talking about that. We're not going into that aspect of it that women have to be size zero. That's a different story altogether. We're just talking about the characterization. जैसे एक character को लिखा जाता है, what are the nuances in the character जो हम लोग दिखते हैं, right? कि क्या क्या हाईलाइट करते हैं उस कैरेक्टर के बारे में जब वो एक औरत लिखती है कहानी एंड जब एक आदमी लिखता है.
So basically, we are actually asking about movies. So here's the thing. So you should have a little bit experience about watching movies. And a little bit of insight into movies itself. So probably we'll talk about that. We have a list of movies which we think have touched upon certain elements of a particular woman as such, right?
Correct.
Right. So, but a man's perspective is one thing and a woman's perspective is one thing. So I think you're talking about perspectives of the presenters, like the directors and everything, right?
Right.
So are you talking about directors or filmmakers itself?
It could be storytellers, it could be filmmakers.
So in
I'm not talking about cinematographers.
No.
I'm talking about the people who conceptualize कि ये story है, ऐसे story को हम लोग लिख सकते हैं.
So would you say
ऐसे character को लिख सकते हैं कि heroine की character सोचो.
So there's again not a right or wrong because it's their perspective.
Correct.
Or do we still say right or wrong?
Well, we're just not going to say right or wrong. We're just going to tell you what the differences are.
Ooh, interesting.
In the way they are perceived. And क्या आपको ये नजर आया? Did you feel the same way?
So here's the thing. So two ways you can do this, right, Fatmani?
Huh.
We can talk about two movies for fair comparison.
Okay.
Touching upon one particular aspect of a particular thing you're talking about.
Okay.
Let's say, it's like previously, so a couple of weeks ago, we did a show on friendships.
Correct.
Right? We talked about the fact that how friendship among women not all there. So we actually, the show which me and Vishalji did together, we talked about friendships and we talked about how women, movies don't talk about the friendship of women. But there are movies talking about friendship of women. But again, now it's a good thing because now if you talk about it, filmmakers jo hai, they also depict the friendship relationships in the movies, right?
Right.
तो ऐसे हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं तो बोलते हैं तो आप सोचिएगा we'll give you two movies, right? You think can you pick up two movies that she talks about friendship, Faltrani? It's a good starter, right? Because just recently we talked about the topic. People might be having a reference point in terms
like
of,
friendships of women, you mean?
Women friendship, yeah. Friendship
Yeah,
women.
we'll talk about let's do that. Let's talk about two different movies, which is one which is rendered by a man in the sense that the writer, the filmmaker, जो भी है, वो एक आदमी है, and how a woman has shown the friendship or characterized the friendship of women.
So let's say depiction of female friendships, okay? First thing that comes to mind, when we did the show, right? Every lady called up, talked about this movie called Veer the Wedding.
Okay.
Now, Veer the Wedding was Meghna Gulzar's film. No, sorry. It was Shashank Ghosh's film.
Veer the Wedding.
Yes.
Shashank Ghosh?
Yeah.
Okay.
But there also was a movie called, which was actually written by Meghna Gulzar. Was actually storytelling by Meghna Gulzar.
Okay.
It was called Philhal.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So now, I don't know how many people have seen the movie Philhal. How many people have seen the movie The Wedding? Because as you know, when it's women-centric, generally the men folk don't go watch it. So do you think Shashank, you want to see how Shashank presents the movie, and do you want to see how Meghna Gulzar presents the movie? Would you be able to explain that Faltwani to our bandhus as a sample starter movie? Because I don't think Philhal is a very famous movie.
Yeah, it's not a very famous movie, Banjan. In fact, जो हमारे बंधुस हैं, Meghna Gulzar is a female, obviously, right? So उन्होंने जो इस movie फिलहाल में explore किया है, it's with a lot of sensitivity and a lot of honesty. जैसे वो the central theme of the movie has revolved mainly around the friendship of the women. Yeah, and it's like, there's a lot of the way she's written the characters, the emotional vulnerability of the woman, वो सब बहुत अच्छी तरह से दिखाया है उस movie में. Veer the Wedding, for example, is also about friends, and it is also about some unrequited feelings of people, and it's also about the
But again, this is a man's perspective of women relationship, female relationship, a man's perspective.
Correct.
So Shashank Ghosh was the person who presented this particular thing about women's friendship, right? But Meghna Gulzar wrote about women friendship. Now, what is authentic with the two of them? You tell me. Now, as women, what do you think is so authentic?
Like for instance, in Philhal, what is the story about? It's about how a woman is unable to have a baby, and then how she, her best friend, offers to become a surrogate mother.
Oh, okay.
For her friend.
It's quite a big step, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and at the same time, there's a lot of, if you actually think about it, there's a lot of complicated emotions that come into play, right?
Sure.
वो बहुत अच्छी तरह से मेघना गुलजार ने दिखाया है. इस movie, in Veer the Wedding, it is about four friends who are also having complicated relationships.
But they only talk about the relationship with the guys, right?
Correct.
It's more like as though they're like, guys are just passing phases for them.
Yes, and what Veer the Wedding more focused on was more
Party.
of like, women.
Party. I'm sorry, that's
not just in terms of party. In fact, the characters were not well developed enough in
It
the sense
wasn't.
you could not even make out. आपको याद है वीरे दी वेडिंग में each of the characters don't even know, like they're supposed to be very good friends, right? They don't even know what each other's career is.
That's
Have they anywhere established?
No. The one person we don't know, she's supposed to be a lawyer, a very bad lawyer.
Yeah.
Who misguides her own servant.
Yeah, and does nothing about the fact that her servant is being abused.
Yeah.
And there is no development of that character at all.
Yeah,
there is
but
nothing.
I don't know. Who other people are just spending money, Papa ka money. That's all they do.
And the movie is just about how these women are spoiled and
Yeah, and
how
they
they're
like to go
acting.
party.
And no, they act out. They party because they're acting out. If you actually think about it, you don't get a good feeling about the women in Veer the Wedding. You don't feel like you feel like ये सब बड़े बाप की बिगड़े बेटियां हैं, right? So that is not. Although the central theme ought to have been friendship. Veer the Wedding, right? It is my friend's wedding. So that is what the movie is about. So, but then again, these are two different movies that were made on the central theme of women friendships. एक और movie आने वाली है. It'll be a classic movie, I think, because to compare to Veer the Wedding, because Shashank Ghosh, as much as he may have tried, I think Zoya Akhtar's writing of Jile Zara will be more nuanced.
Wait. You're just making a
No,
assumption.
I'm not making an assumption. I'm just staking a claim that it would have a more nuanced
Well, we don't know.
You don't even know.
We don't know.
If she succumbs to commercialization, I don't know.
Or for the matter, probably that particular movie of what Z and MD has stuck in your romantic notion and you stuck in your mind. Oh,
possibly.
Because she did that, probably she'll do a good job. So
Correct.
no, that's fine. When it comes up, we'll think about it. But right now, because we're talking of man versus woman, right?
Right.
Perspective of man versus perspective of woman for storytelling.
Correct.
I really think that, I can agree with you when you say that, the nuances of a female, the connections and the deep emotions between female friends has not been shown. Because when we did the show a couple of weeks ago, women actually called up, all the ladies out there, Aditi Ho, Deepa Ho, everybody called up and they said the fact that yes, there's no movie that even Meenakshi was the one called up and said like there's no movies which actually talks about the deeper connections they have
Correct.
with their friends. Right? Kahan pe milta hai yaar? Because in fact, whatever I saw Veer the Wedding also was like that, glitz and glamour kind of a thing.
Correct.
To me, I don't know. Probably middle class guy going vacationing in some whatever island over there.
Yeah.
It's far fetched, right? So we'll not relate to it also.
Right.
But yeah, good. So I think in this case, I would say women take the cake because they are more aware of what's happening around them.
Right.
Right. Fine. There you go. Now I think already it's 1-0 for the man versus women.
Well, we're not saying that it's a 1-0. We just want to know, do you think it does? I want to hear from the men who are listening to us right now. I really, really want to hear from the men and also from the women. Do you have you ever felt that, no, this doesn't sound authentic, this would possibly be different, she could have thought differently? Have you ever felt that? Today we're talking about female characters, okay? And we're talking about the perception and the visualization of these female characters from a man's perspective as opposed to a woman's perspective. तो यहाँ पे कॉल करें और हमारे साथ शेयर करें. स्टूडियो का नंबर है 4089122479. एक बार और स्टूडियो का नंबर नोट कर लीजिएगा बंधुजन, 4089122479. ये है आपके लिए स्टूडियो का नंबर. एंड आज है ऑन द पैम पैम शो मैन वर्सेस वुमन मंडेज. जल्दी जल्दी कॉल करिए और हमारे साथ यहाँ पे शेयर करिए.
Alright. So, Taltani, एक गाना बनता है, right?
Yes.
What song do you want to play?
You could play that song because we are talking about Veer the Wedding. You could play that song. Oh, see, for instance, there's a song in that movie.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
See, think about the lyrics of that song also. Why? What does it mean? It's saying, oh, a woman is all about vanity.
Yeah.
और कितने तरीफा
all wanting
चाहिए
attention.
तेरे. Yeah.
All wanting attention.
Correct.
And of course, Banjan, this is a song by Badshah
Yes, Banjan.
and Karan.
दस दे कितना गल तैनू समझावां नी अब तू छड़ दे ओनू जो है तेरे नाम नखरे क्यों कर दिया मैनू जचदा नहीं कितना सवाल कर दिया ना मैं सुनता नहीं.
Would you say that's exactly, see, this is a total man's perspective. But you know what they did in this movie, right?
Yeah, what did they do?
This particular dialogue is lipped or whatever the lip is by all the women in the equation.
Right.
And what are women doing there in the whole song? The men are half naked and just like objectifying the men.
Yeah.
So it's like it's like a what do you call it? It's like a smoke screen to say like it's very feminist kind of a thing. But no, it's not.
It's not.
It's ulta. It's like the words of the song is so different. I'll tell you what, this song also written by Karan, Rupin and Pahwa.
And here's the why we played you this song also, we'll tell you, Banjan.
Why?
Because
Tell them.
देखो, even if you're talking about Tarifa, right? I mean, you're talking about this is supposed to be a promo song for the movie, right? Was it a promo song? Yeah, it was like a bonus song for the movie.
Yeah, okay.
Just to show the beauty of Kareena Kapoor and the beauty of Sonam Kapoor.
Yeah.
And the oomph factors kind of thing,
the
right?
James Bond guys are around.
Yeah, something to that effect. लेकिन इस गाने में क्या lyrics क्या है? और कितनी तारीफा चाहिए तेनू? How much more should I praise you?
Oh.
Instead, they could have talked about something, I don't know. I mean, I'm just talking from a woman's perspective, right?
Yeah.
It could be like how we don't actually, there could be something that she is not, people are not understanding what she wants.
That's exactly what, even that's the truth thing, right? Women always, the point is you don't understand us, right?
Correct.
Anyway, we've got a buddy waiting. Let's see what they have to say. Namaskar, aap for the Pampam ke Man vs. Woman Mondays mein. Who's this? Hello?
Hello, Pampam.
Pampam, also Baba, Falkurani. How are you?
Ganesh. Welcome. Man vs. Women.
Yeah, very interesting topic. I personally love women-centric movies which have very strong women characters.
Okay.
And which are specifically, portrayed not as in those idealistic, Sati Savitri, all sacrificing, all empowering kind of mythical role, but as, the way women are, right?
Yeah.
Like in real life, with all the perfections and imperfections. So I love such realistic movies. And particularly in Kannada, there was Puttanna Kanagal.
Yeah.
He was a wonderful director. And he made a series of these wonderful strong women-centric, realistic women-centric movies like Sharapanjara, Gejja Puja, which dealt with real issues like mental illness and the inheritary prostitution, those kinds of real issues.
Yeah.
However, I just wanted to share one funny thought, funny incident related to this women roles as seen through the eyes of a man. And this was a real incident, okay?
Okay.
So, I'd gone to this movie with Ratna Pathak, right? She was the leading heroine.
Yeah.
She plays like a 55, 60-year-old kind of aged or aging woman.
Okay.
Lipstick under the burqa.
Yes.
That was the title of the movie.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Now, that has portrayed her role as, what a real world woman is, right?
Right.
No Sati Savitri kind of thing, just a real woman. And I'm not going to go into the details, but I think if you have seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
It gets very realistic.
Yes.
And, I was like enjoying the movie, right?
Yeah.
And this husband and wife, this couple were sitting next to me, right? The wife was like enjoying the movie. The guy was getting very comfortable, right?
Very,
So like,
uncomfortable.
ye kya, kaun sa, what kind of a movie have you brought me?
Yes.
Ye kya bakwas hai? And then he was like squirming upside down, and then you just get up and leave there. I can't take this anymore. You would leave,
What?
Oh.
and he would come back after 10 minutes, sit for another 5-10 minutes.
Wow.
God.
And he was literally getting so uncomfortable because the character as played by Ratna Pathak
Yeah, indeed.
was nothing like what probably he had seen women, the roles that women in his life play.
So the romantic notion of the women what we have in our minds.
Yeah.
So that was challenged by.
Yeah,
And,
or the social conditioning that we as Indian men have been brought up with.
Correct. Yeah, exactly.
With
So
what we think are what we expect the good women to be, how they should talk, how they should behave,
Right.
how as they age we expect thinking also to change, which may not be the case.
yeah.
Anyway, so I was enjoying the discomfort of this guy next to me.
Oh, God.
But hold on. So Ganesh, you actually brought a very good point because that particular movie was narrated by a female, right?
Alankrita Shrivastava.
And she was a female.
I don't know who the director was.
Yeah.
Yes,
It was a female. Today's show is all about that. Today's show is all about how a man telling a story on screen and a female telling a story on screen, right?
Yes,
see.
you're right.
You're right. You're on the spot.
You're on your it's interesting. We were going to have this as the last movie that we were going to talk about because
okay.
because actually we took different themes, right? One
Yeah.
was the theme of friendship, and then we talked about the theme of, there were several different
Now
themes.
we
that
have one more strand coming up. Old age. He talked middle age. We're talking
Yeah.
about older age women portrayed in movies.
Yeah.
And he talked Ratna Pathak, who actually is playing the role of an older age.
So we
woman.
talked about
I mean, she's
so-
not like super old. She's like, I think, like 50, mid-50s.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Not like a
It-
grandma. Yeah.
we're talking about so basically the last thing that we talked about was the natural desires and the feelings of a mature woman, right?
Yeah.
Is what we had, and then we couldn't find a male movie. I mean, meaning a man who has made a movie on that.
Yeah, they would have
Looks
made a movie
like
on
it's
it.
never
Yeah, yeah.
crossed their mind.
They have made a movie, but it'll be a different kind of a movie.
No,
Hey. Yes,
not
they
in
were-
Indian cinema.
In
Alto
Indian
Baba.
cinema only, but it will be under the other banner.
Oh God.
Where the color differs a little bit.
Hey, this, by the way, this was not pornographic in
I'm
any
not
which
saying
way.
that this is not porn. I'm talking about Indian cinema. There also was other thing where they have bhabi style, no, and all stuff.
Actually, Alto Baba,
Yeah.
do you remember this movie called Ranganayaki by Puttana Kangal?
Yes.
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 Was something kind of related to that, where
Correct.
Arati is like this mature woman
Yeah. Yes.
and her
Again.
needs and desires, and that younger guy gets feeling for her, and then the
Correct. So
Dramatic.
Puttana Kanagal, we can't touch upon much of
See-
it because
Huh.
he
Right.
actually has thought about it, and that actually was based on a novel, right? Wasn't it based on a novel?
Yes,
correct.
it was
yes,
based
yes,
on.
all his movies were based
And
on
novel
novels,
written
correct.
by a
It was written by Triveni. Sharapanjana was written by
Right.
Triveni,
yeah.
and Ranganayaki was by I think it was
I
a
don't know
male
who.
Ashwatha. I don't know. It was it might have
I
been
don't- yeah, I
male
don't
of-
Good.
remember,
But the
yeah.
point is, okay, so but of course, he was a wonderful filmmaker. So he actually touched upon the emotions part of it, right?
Yeah.
He touched upon the
Right.
the finer things about human nature.
Yeah.
He talked about that part. So it's good. So yeah, I agree with you. So but an equivalent, like how Faltani said, an equivalent to the lipstick on a burqa
Yeah.
hasn't come up as yet. So good. Men would have ruined it totally.
Equivalent as made by a male
Man.
director.
Correct. See, you were so right when you said that there was this man who was squirming in his seat,
Huh?
right? Perhaps men have not even thought about that aspect.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
change of reality, right? It's like the ground being taken away under their feet. Sort
That's
of.
why it's called the groundbreaking movie.
Indeed,
Very
indeed.
good, very good. But good, yeah, good,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But I'm glad that
Okay.
you enjoyed the movie.
And
Because-
thank you for sharing
It
that
was
on
a
air.
good movie. I like that.
It is.
Yeah, it was well made. Yeah.
Yeah, it was such a shame when we actually went to watch the movie. I mean, in fact, we met Alankrita Srivastava and we also
Yeah.
met Ratna Pathak Shah and we interviewed her as well.
Yeah.
But when we went to watch the movie, there were 5 women in the theater,
That's all.
and that was our group. That's it.
Well, you never invited
There were
me.
no. But you didn't come with us.
Yeah, right. Whatever. You
Yeah.
didn't invite me. Just no. I think girls are going.
Yeah, well,
What to do?
that's what happened.
But it doesn't
so
matter.
there were no women, there were no men, and there were very
We were
few
partly
people.
the women decided to not take the guys who go along with us.
Yeah, well, guys didn't want to go there.
I was ready to go. You guys didn't want to take me. Because what I'm supposed to.
Okay.
But it doesn't matter, Ganesh. Thank you so much for actually watching the movie also. by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much for calling in and sharing. Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you. Bye.
All right,
Well,
bye-bye.
okay, Ganesh brought a very good point there, Faltwani.
Yeah.
So, and of course, I don't know how many of our bandhus listening right now to us will want to comment on today's topic.
Yeah.
Because, as you said, men don't want to share anything because they fear being judged. Is it true? Bandhujan? Call karo 408912. I don't see much of activity of women also. Why? What happened?
Yeah.
something-
What's going on?
What's going on?
Where
Yeah.
are the women? They're all scared, I think. Scaredy movies. They're not like
Yeah,
talking.
because they don't want to take gender wars.
Huh?
They don't want to get into gender war. I
No,
suppose.
I think it's.
Because title says man versus women, right? So people thinking like, oh, it'll be a contest. They want to be nice to their men.
Oh my God! Really?
I don't know.
I gotta play safe.
I
ladies.
don't know. Give us a call 408-912-7. Hi, namaskar. Welcome to the Pampam show. Who's this?
Pampam, Altu Baba and Philharmony.
Pampam. विवाह जी कैसे हैं आप?
मैं बिल्कुल ठीक हूँ आप दोनों कैसे हो
मैं तो फर्स्ट क्लास हूँ. बताइए. आज का टॉपिक आप सुन रहे हैं ना?
Hello?
हाँ जी कैन यू हियर मी
हाँ,
Yeah.
we can hear you. बोलिए बोलिए.
आज का टॉपिक आप सुन
हाँ
रहे हैं
जी
ना?
हाँ जी
हाँ जी, तो बताइए.
मैंने थोड़ा बहुत सुना नहीं आई जस्ट रेड व्हाट यू गाइस आर टॉकिंग अबाउट टुडे
अच्छा सुनने रहा हूँ शो.
Oh my
नहीं,
God.
मैं गाड़ी में सुन रही हूँ.
हाँ.
I'm listening, but I'm not watching.
Oh, okay. ठीक है.
Wait,
ठीक है.
you're listening but not watching. Good, okay. Listen, but listening में आपको अब क्या 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 किया आपने? आज man versus woman है, तो मेरे से झगड़ा मत करना. But फाल्तनी का question एक है.
हाँ.
फाल्तनी तू पूछ बाजी से.
तो क्या क्वेश्चन, हाँ, आपके हिसाब से डू यू थिंक दैट लाइक जो पर्सपेक्टिव्स हैं, जैसे of the same situation or the same thing, do you feel, okay, today we talk about women, right, the portrayal of women in the movies. आपके हिसाब से आपने,
Right.
have you ever thought about the treatment as to whether it has been, this is a male director and this is a female director, or have you ever felt a portrayal of a female character is unauthentic, for lack of a better term, where you feel like ऐसे नहीं होता. I mean, if she would have possibly reacted this way, or this could have been the character, rather she acted a certain which way, which is, and then I don't know if it's ever crossed your mind, but it happens to me many times, and then I go and look up whether it was a man or a woman who wrote the story. So
Oh really?
Yeah.
But आप करते हो कैसे? You actually go see who wrote the story and all, Vibaji?
So, no, not really, but I don't know if I'm speaking on topic in terms of जैसे आपको याद होगा जब हम गए थे गंगूबाई वाली मूवी देखने, we all felt कि the actress did not do a very good job, or some other woman would have fit, some other actress would have fit that role better. But एक movie does stand out in my mind, which I think was very well made. Unfortunately, it didn't do that well. It was directed by a lady. एक लड़की को देखा तो ऐसा लगा.
yeah,
I
okay.
think that was I think that was a really good movie in terms of direction, and also in terms of I think all the characters played their roles beautifully, from Rajkumar Rao to Sonam Kapoor to whoever else was, Anil Kapoor. I think it was a very, very good movie, a very good portrayal of all the characters. And I think you can kind of tell the difference between the way a woman directs a movie versus the way a man directs a movie. I think women handle direction or the portrayal of the characters in a more, I would say, in a more sensitive and proper way.
What is proper is what Altu will ask you. What does that mean? If I'm not
You
mistaken.
know it very well, Radha.
Proper means, generally, when a man directs a movie, sometimes the way the women are portrayed is not very good, or they won't give a nice juicy role to the actress. The movies are more hero-centric and not heroine-centric. I mean, I think when a man directs a movie, it's more about, I'm not going to use the word glamour, but it's more about, presenting the actress to look hot. Whereas when a woman directs a movie, I think it's more about, the personality or the character of women versus, just the superficiality of it all.
So I have
at least that's how I feel.
No, good. So again, your observation is right, and you brought up a movie which actually I was going to call up in terms of when you have the. Remember, Father, we talked about different what do you call that? Different aspects, right? So I was going to touch upon even the socio-economic status and all, right? Even what's happening socially, right? Like for instance, same-sex marriage, same-sex unions, same relationships, right? If you look at that aspect, even there you have a woman's perspective and a man's perspective.
Correct.
And you brought in Vibaji the women's perspective, which was what's her name? I keep forgetting. Oh my God. Chopra. No, Shelley Chopra. Shelley Chopra brought in a very good story, and I saw both. There were also a male perspective of same sex. Have you seen that particular movie? Which movie are you talking about?
Shubh Mangal Zyada Savdhan.
Yes. So what did you infer from that? Was there a because I have?
Yeah, there's a very clear difference.
How? What did you see?
So the male-directed movie, was more, it had more of the humor. And it did, of course, have the sensitivity because it's a sensitive topic. But in the one that was directed by Shelley Chopra, in that it was so clear that most of that movie, at least for me, was more realistic. Was a more realistic portrayal without all the the humor or the funny parts. Yeah, so I think that was a big difference, I think, in both those movies.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And
More realistic.
I am
The lady directed.
right, and I'm going to also talk a little bit about another movie that was. You're right about the sensitive portrayal, क्योंकि जैसे एक लड़की को देखा तो ऐसा लगा, right? In the way they've portrayed it, they've talked about her internal angst. Also, not only in terms of the fact that she is not able to love who she wants to love, but also her wrestling with her own feelings of guilt and shame, and how it impacts her father.
Well, actually, what I liked about the fact that what Shelley was successful in showing to me as a male watching the movie was the internal identity struggle of hers, because it showed very clearly she had a dilemma with her own identity as assigned by somebody else and her own identity.
Correct. Exactly.
Yeah, right. And though at the end of the day, the solution was very simply shown.
Yeah.
But still, it was I think they did a wonderful job as opposed to the other place.
Well, let's not talk about Shubhangal.
I don't want to.
I'm going to talk about another movie which came out recently. It's a movie called Badhai Do. And it's a lavender marriage, right? It basically it is where in that also. Okay,
but again,
I'll tell you. Wait, Altu Baba. In that also they portray a lesbian relationship, and they portray a male a gay relationship. Okay.
Right.
I'll tell you, in the what they have shown in the lesbian relationship also, that story is told by a man. It focuses more on the physicality and their physical attraction to each other, as opposed to their why they are attracted to as opposed to the emotional connection. It talks more about how they are physically wired to be attracted to each other as opposed to their emotional connection. And to a great extent, the way the movie unfolds and how the drama unfolds is in terms of the climax is where the women get caught in an act of
Passion.
Yeah, by the boy's family. So again, it kind of portrays it in a negative light. You kind of hate on the women for what they're doing in that movie. Like, the way you write the story and the way you're telling the story, you're framing the characters, right? You feel sad for Rajkumar Rao, even though he's also gay and he's also cheating.
Right. Yeah, it's almost like a blame game, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, the women were caught and how dare they, that type of thing.
Yeah. And he emerges.
I haven't seen Badai, so.
Yeah, but watch the movie. You'll watch it. I mean, don't watch now that I've ruined it for you. Sorry, I put that perspective in your head.
No. I knew it was. I knew what it was about, but I think I watched 5 minutes and I fell asleep. Not because it was boring, but because I was just tired. Yeah.
No, I think it's not that great a story. It's again told by two men, Akshat Gildal and I think it's Harshvardhan Kulkarni. These are the writers. And they talk about the relationship, and finally who emerges the hero, who emerges this thing? It is the man. The man has to ask the girl also to come and sit. Like ask because they're going to adopt a baby or whatever. They get a baby for adoption, and they'll say no. You let the other mother also come.
See, that's something which that is a point where it's today's thing comes in, right?
Yeah.
But also in just pure talking about relationships and the depiction of things, right? I think women directors thus far, what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Have done a better job. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe with
we need more. We need more women to direct movies.
No, I don't know about more. We want good quality women to direct movies. It's a different issue. The point I really think. See, men also don't get me wrong. It's not generalizing. We don't want to generalize. There are some women really good. Some men are really good in depicting these things. Case in point, what Ganesh is talked about, Puttana Kanakal, he did a very small, short stint in the industry, but he made some really impactful movies for Kannada cinema. And yes,
Oh, wow.
like that, there are also many other movie directors also are there. But in general, what I feel is when a particular story has to be treated, women tend to be women directors tend to have upper hand because I think they already respect and they already are tuned in to the concept of emotion
Yeah.
and storytelling, right? That's why I think is the plus for women directors, I suppose. But again, hey, by the way, not all women directors are that good, okay?
Yeah, that's true.
There are case in point again. I'm going to talk about Farah Khan. I'm sorry,
What?
Farah Khan, right? Her name is.
Yeah,
Farah Khan.
but her writers are
You
probably
mean
male.
you mean Main Hoon Na and all?
Yeah, that's totally a different kind of a person. But I think I hope she can actually do better movies. But then again,
Yeah, she's made some
I think she's
interesting stuff.
she succumbed to the commercialization, Altu Baba. It's like, okay, let's have a tongue-in-cheek kind of. Hey, I liked Mehuna. I thought it was a funny movie. It was
yeah,
like,
it's
She's the,
okay.
She's the female Karan Johar.
Wait, hold on. Let's do this.
No,
Let's
no.
do. Okay, now we brought in a very good concept.
Yeah.
Comedy.
Yeah.
How do you think women directors
Huh.
have touched upon comedy?
okay.
Can you talk of any movie? Can you think of any movie which is actually a laugh out loud comedy? Vibhaji, you can take some time and call back also if you want it.
Okay.
But let us see if you
I'll
can
call,
think.
I'll call back if I can think of something.
Yeah. So, Father, what I'm asking you is, if you were to say this particular movie is a comedy movie, right? How would you have you thought of any movie wherein a women comedy is being portrayed? Farah Khan, for instance, right? She actually has a bunch of comedy movies.
Okay.
Now, compared to that, are there any male counterparts of hers who actually done comedy, and are there any differences in
Okay,
that?
I'm going to give you an example, okay?
Huh.
There is it's like a social drama comedy, but we'll go to a bandhu and then we'll talk about this. Hello, Pampam, Connorjee.
Pampam. Alta Baba Falta Rani Ganesh here again.
Hi, Ganeshi.
Today's
boliye.
show is going to be a super duper show. Ganesh called us twice today.
Actually, there was, you had asked a question about a similar story to Lipstick Under this guy, except directed by a male.
Okay.
So there is a movie. I was trying to remember the name. I couldn't remember. I looked it up.
Huh.
It's a 2018 beautiful Kannada movie that I saw
Uh-huh.
Okay.
called Nati Charami.
Nati
It's
Charam.
won Nati Charami. It won 5 national movie awards in 2018. The protagonist is Shruti Hariharan. I really like her. A wonderful actress.
Okay.
Excellent performance. Very realistic story. The story is basically there's this young couple, very lovey-dovey, perfectly happy in life, and I think the guy dies in an suddenly he dies, accident or something,
Oh.
and she's left alone. She still loves him deeply, right?
Yeah.
But then she starts realizing that she still has physical desires.
Sir, again.
That
but
she needs a man's company, right?
Yes.
And now she's conflicted, right?
Yeah.
Because at the same time she really loves her husband, she wants to be faithful to him.
Yeah.
Yet she has all these other conflicting emotions.
Yeah.
So she actually goes to a psychiatrist to see that, hey,
Yeah.
there's something wrong with me.
Yeah. It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
He tells her that there's nothing wrong. You have to keep, your body separate and your mind separate. Those are not related. And
So-
he says, he encourages her to go with her feelings and passions.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to spoil the ending for
No,
you
don't.
because if you're going to see
it's
it,
a
I think it's on the Netflix or somewhere, right?
I have seen the movie. I've seen.
But its ending is not what you would expect in a typical Indian predictable movie with such a story.
I just want to say one thing here, sir. You're right about that. Nati Charami is a very good movie. It's we also got an opportunity to interview the artist who actually Shruti. We did interview her on our shows, Kannada Srikandan Gudi. But the thing is, you talked about a counterpart. So, like how it is. Lipstick on a Burqa, right?
Yeah.
That's one movie. Perspective of women. Wait, let me
Nati
finish.
Charami was directed by a guy.
Let me finish.
Mansoor.
Let me
Yeah.
finish. The story of Nati Charami is from a lady, Sandhya Rani.
Yeah.
She written by a lady, directed by somebody else. But the written, of course, you should notice is the fact that it's written by a woman.
Yeah. It's written by a woman.
So
Directing
storytelling.
Oh, okay, so I see. So you're saying that doesn't count. Okay, all right.
So no, that doesn't count a lot. So, Andre, you're right. You're 100% right in terms of the movies were excellent and touched upon all these things. I still feel a man doing that storytelling is going to be a little bit hard.
So just to kind of backtrack just a little bit, right?
okay.
Ganeshji, it is about how the character is developed.
Yeah.
It matters a huge deal. The way they've written the character and director ek story hai, character development ho gaya, then the director is how you finally execute the story. So what we're talking about is Nati Chirami was written by Sandhya Rani, right?
Yeah,
But it's still not made in Hindi. Hindi mein nahi hua aaj
नहीं
tak.
हुआ तक हुआ, हाँ.
And it's
No, I mean, I think it's too, Kannada is, what I've observed is much more liberal in terms of experimenting with new ideas.
More
etc.
bold ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ.
Hindi
More
is
bold.
generally tends to be more formula based.
Correct.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Safety zone for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So this particular, I mean, I don't know whether this is on OTT. I really want to watch it if you're talking about it. But it's something that was written by a lady. So when it's written from, even for that matter, even Shara Panjara, right, written by Triveni, it's a female who has written the story, and then the director picked up that story and made a movie out of it. Like, so that's what we are talking about today. The way the
But
characters.
then, Faltu Rani, then even the problem that you're trying to solve an unsolvable problem, for example, is it even possible for a man to write a book about how delivering a baby feels like? Is it even possible?
Correct. Well,
Perfect.
you can.
I mean, a man can definitely feel empathy for his wife when she's in the delivery room.
Correct.
But
Correct.
is it possible for him to even truly write a story, or even if he does write a story,
Yeah.
Yeah.
would it have any validity, or would it even make sense?
It could.
That's the question
It
we're asking
could.
right
That's
now.
the question we're asking today. Are we so far apart in
Yeah.
terms of, like, for instance, I'll give you a very classic example. There's a movie called Piku, right?
Uh-huh.
Piku was who? Sushojit Sarkar, or was it written by a female? Alto Baba. I think it was Juhi Chaturvedi was the writer.
Yeah.
Piku would. Have you seen the movie Piku?
Yeah,
Okay. Did you like it?
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so the nuances of Deepika Padukone's character, the title role, of showing her what do you call, her obligation, her guilt, her respect, her pride, everything is so beautifully executed in the movie, because it is originally captured in the essence of the story.
Yeah.
If you don't capture that essence in that story, then how is it actually going to be ever? Even a man can never, or whoever, they have to look at that character when they're doing the character development. So I'll give you an example. Abhi Altu ne pucha ki koi Hindi movie hai kya, which is a comedy movie, right? Have you seen this movie called Kareeb Kareeb Single?
Have you seen it? So the
Ganesh?
Probably not.
the one starring
I mean, it
Irfan
vaguely
Khan.
rings a bell, but I'm not sure.
Okay, so the comedy of the character is there's a lot of comic sequences. It's slightly older, somebody in her 30s or late 30s, who's trying to find love, and she's kareeb single. She's like constantly like ending up with loser.
Yeah.
Like, at some point
She finds somebody when she fails again.
yeah, like it's like she her standards technically are supposedly
Too high?
Yeah, and Irfan Khan falls under the characteristic loser character. And it's a really funny movie. You should watch it. It's very subtle humor. And that movie has shown so beautifully. Again, you don't hate on
Wait,
her.
but was the movie written by or directed by women?
Yes, it was.
Oh, interesting.
Kareeb Single was Tanuja Chandra and Kamna, who wrote Kareeb Single. And I'm going to contrast it with, in Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, Mrs. Braganza. You remember that character that she became very popular for it, Archana Puran Singh.
Yeah.
It was such a brash, blatant, absolutely over the top kind of female funny character portrayal because of her single status. They show that so beautifully in these. I'm just going to contrast these two and thinking about even Karan Johar, who is supposed to be a female empath.
Really?
No, he claims that he is, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I'm just. Does that make sense, Ganeshi? What I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm just trying to see if it's even feasible. That's
Yikes. Sir, I'll tell you what, I think only thing what a man can do is stand to the fact that yes, probably they can't do it.
What? Why?
And actually encourage more women to do it, and they probably will be directors, right? Writing can be done by, or at least when you write a particular female character, run it by a woman also.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you.
Run
Thank
it by
you.
them and say, you know
Yeah.
what, do you think it makes a then? Or they don't just give us a particular thing and say, this is the hero and going to help the guy to win the war against the enemies.
Exactly.
You know, not going to work for us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
right. Yeah, that would make sense. A female writer and a female director. That would be a
yeah.
authentic combination. Yeah. Agree.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah. Thank you so much, Ganeshji, for calling
Okay.
and sharing that
All
movie
right.
also.
You're welcome.
Have
Bye-bye.
a good one.
But see, the thing is, Ganesh really has put a thought to it, and I really
Yeah.
appreciate that. That's what exactly I'm asking our bandhus to do. Give us a call here, but क्या इतना झिझक रहे हो आप लोग? डरो मत, call करो. By the way, no judgment over here. If at all you say that, call, no way, men can write a thing that way. I understand. I hear you out. I've been telling that from day number one. Women are more powerful than men. We just had been given impression that we've been very powerful. That's all the women have been
Hey,
playing
we're not
against
saying
us.
one is better than the other at
Oh,
all. We're
come
just
on.
saying
I
that.
am saying it outright, Faltwani. Women are better than men. Simple and plain. End of story, Faltwani. End of story. But the point is, yeah, but again, it's a man's word. Why do they say it's a man's word in the first place?
I have no idea.
It's so wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
आगे बढ़ते हैं, Faltwani. What else do you have for us?
No, so तुम बताओ. Can you think of anything where you felt
मैं
it was?
बताऊं?
हाँ.
What will I मैं बताऊं?
अबे
हाँ.
क्या मैं what will I मैं बताऊं? I'm asking you, is there anything that you can think of? Was there a movie that you watched and you felt? अच्छा, Ganeshi asked a very pertinent question. ना उन्होंने क्या पूछा? Ganeshi said very clearly कि is it ever possible or ever feasible for a man to ever understand fully what it feels like for a woman?
I don't think so.
And is it possible for a woman to feel what it feels like for a man?
Impossible.
What? How dare you say that? How can you say that? We birth a man, okay? Be quiet. Impossible.
Whoa, no. What did you say?
We birth a man also.
Okay, so?
Yeah, and we raise men. We raise the men.
Yeah.
Yeah, we give birth to men and
Yes.
we raise those men.
Okay, that's so you come back to what I said initially, right?
What?
Women are more powerful than men.
God, you make up your mind. That's why I say he talks on both sides of his face.
Wait, no, excuse me. That's exactly what I'm telling you. There's nothing wrong or right. See, thing is, first and foremost, I really feel that writing a story is a lot of responsibility.
Correct.
I don't want to summarize the whole. I mean, you can summarize. Come to the show, end of the show already.
Oh my
Summarize
God.
the whole show. I would just say one thing here. It's not easy to write a story. If you think you write a story, I don't know. Because if you were to write a fairy tale, don't expect the people to go watch it. Go write whatever you want. Doesn't matter.
Correct.
Right? Many people writing a story. Formula stories are written there. Why I say this because I actually am a student of folklore. I love folklore. I love to read all kinds of stories.
Correct.
And some of the stories actually ring true because folklores were based on real characters.
Correct.
When I say folklore, Faltoni, we also know we are aware of it because we both are actually students of folklore, right? We actually love all the fairy tales and everything. The fairy tales actually were not fairy tales. Fairy tales were actually gory tales.
Right.
They were gory tales. They were actually told to actually scare kids in those days, long ago, right?
Correct.
Maybe Little Riding Hood or whatever it is. But there was something which was relating to the individual listening to the story.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
You will lose out the audience moment you actually don't consider them in the whole picture in the first place.
Yeah.
You will lose out on the female audiences if you don't actually consider them to be in the picture.
Correct.
That's what I'm trying to say. So, but again, male also same thing. If you think that suppose that way, I'm envisioning a particular person, a 35-year-old guy sitting in the theater watching with his family, right? You do a story for him only. You're alienating everybody else,
Correct.
right? Fantasy stories, right? Fantasy stories just have something towards connection to reality, or connection to the fact that probably it could be that. See, because recently I saw the movie Doctor Strange.
Huh.
It's so strange, people will not connect to it
Correct.
because it is strange. It's unfathomable.
No,
right?
Baba, I think they've done a very good job of how explaining it to layman very nicely.
But
I
they
mean,
have. But you see how they are also being forced to do certain things
Yeah.
just because they have to please a certain group of individuals.
Correct. I know. Yeah. Oh. Are we
What?
talking about creating the female Thor and all that stuff?
No, females have always been there. female Thor has been in the industry, in the comics for the past so many years. They're very progressive that way. The comics are very progressive. But again, there is a different way of portraying women and everything is different. That's got to be there. But here I'm talking about there's one row, there's many sequences in the movie which you will understand, like, what is this thing about they're overdoing it.
Yeah.
Marvel is overdoing it in terms of it. But keep it real, keep it to the point, understandable. And I think there also, Father, you look at it's a man's perspective of trying to just show, but not the emotional connection between the things.
Correct.
Yeah.
They left that they didn't close that loop. They just left it hanging.
Yeah, a little part 2.
Oh, you think so?
Oh,
because they'll develop her character into something else, is
Hopefully.
it? Hopefully.
But
okay.
thus far, sad thing is, Fadwani, Marvel has not been able to give a good follow-up story of a female protagonist.
Oh, well.
Black Widow flopped big time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the Scarlet Witch, this one pretty much supposed to be that way, but they changed it to Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And this, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Thor is coming up.
What about her?
Who?
Is that from Marvel or DC? I always get confused.
Wonder Woman is DC.
No.
Wonder Woman is DC.
Not Wonder Woman. I'm talking about the one who... She's what?
Black Widow.
No.
Who are you talking about?
No, the one who goes off into space. Is that...
That's exactly Marvel, Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. Yeah, Captain Marvel.
They did not do a second part of her.
Yeah, she'll come back.
They shelved it.
What?
Yeah, you don't know about that.
No, I didn't know about that. Oh. Wow.
Oh. After Endgame, there's Endgame for that lady. Poor thing, okay?
They ended it, is it?
I don't know. It's not
that's terrible.
Shelved. It's been shelved. So, otherwise, again, my point is the men doing those female heroines because they want to attract the female audience.
Well, let's also tell you, Manijana, I think we shape mindsets with the stories that we tell.
That's true.
And it is all the more important कि हम लोग ये जो authentic movies हैं उनको सराहें. That we should demand more authentic characterization as opposed to like, okay, yeah, if it is a very, very fantasy kind of movie and it's like, something out there, just like, one of those things that somebody pulls out of their wherever and, wants to put it on screen and stuff like that, fine, it's okay. But seriously, I think if you're talking about pop culture, that's what shapes the mindsets of the next generation, right? So if the next generation is learning that it's like, for instance, the next generation who goes and watches Vireti Wedding, we did have that. We had the next generation. What did she take away from the movie? That one of the characters uses a vibrator.
Whoa, really?
That's all? That's what stuck out.
That's all?
Yeah. And oh my God, it's a very bold movie because they show that. It's not that there was nothing else of substance in that movie for the child to take away. So think about it. So it's at the same time, if they were to show the nuances of the friendship, the female friendship, especially at a time when people don't bond over authentic, real friendships. There is frenemies. Who knew about a concept called frenemies? You knew about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are frenemies with somebody, right?
No, I'm not frenemy with anybody for the matter. They might think I'm a frenemy in the different shit.
Acha, okay. So there's many such nuances that can be covered in a story, and we are just trying to say that we're not saying any one person is right or wrong. We're just asking Hindi film industry, at least. We're also asking people to delve a little deeper. Go a little deeper and understand and have the cultural humility.
Wow! Cultural humility.
कि ऐसा मतलब शायद जो मैं समझता हूँ वो सब सही नहीं है. या मैं कुछ चीजें समझ नहीं पाता हूँ. Like our Ganesh ji actually very beautifully said, is it ever possible for a man to understand what a woman is going to go through when she's going through those 18 hours of labor or whatever she's doing?
And I outright said no.
Yeah.
Hey, but the point is already, because it's got to be the one more thing I want to just say. Yesterday was Mother's Day.
Yeah.
The role of mother.
Yeah.
In multitude of movies you've seen, right?
Correct.
I still feel most of them were perspective of man, how a mom should be, idealized mom. Why can't moms also have all kinds of,
Correct.
right? That way, if you look at it, was one movie which came English to English. You remember that movie?
Yeah.
Was that by a man or a woman? Who actually that characterization I like a lot.
English is Reema Kakti, right?
Wow, there you
No,
go.
no. English to English was Gauri Shinde. My
Oh
bad.
my God,
Gauri
Shinde
Shinde.
madam has done a wonderful job.
Yeah.
I like that movie because that's Sridevi is playing a role of a mom, right?
Yeah.
She's having a disturbed relationship. At the same time, she has a child who's getting married, or no?
No.
No.
It talks about everything. It's not just about her as a mother. She's conflicted because she's left her children income.
Yeah, and also the
And
fact
she's
that
also living her life,
Yes.
her ambitions, and the way she's being disparaged due to her English, her
Yeah.
language, and also the attention that she's getting
yeah.
from the local audience.
Yeah.
Like the local people there. It explores different aspects of her character and just doesn't restrict it to, oh, mera beta, mera aega, mere Karan Arjun aayenge type. So this thing, the sacrificial mom, or for that matter, the mom that you would see in Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge, right?
Yeah.
Who's-
Every guy who wants a mom to just say, "Oh, welcome to me."
Yeah, exactly.
Give Aarti whenever they come.
Yeah, exactly. Or,
I'm
who's-
sorry, that's not going to work. Okay, please. What is expecting moms to do Aarti when they come inside?
Yeah, and we just want to say that it's important for people to explore that also. It's not just that mom is the cute, the docile, the always that kind of character in a movie, right?
Yeah.
Or the one who's always like fighting and who's always doing that. No. So get some neutral tones to your character. Get all aspects, right? Perspectives into writing your characters for the movies, especially when it comes to women. वो हम आज बताना चाहते थे. There's many different perspectives. अगर आप भी कुछ यहाँ पे पेश करना चाहते हो, तो definitely you can get in touch with us by emailing us on bandhu@mediamahima.com. ये था हमारा आज का presentation of the Pampam show. Bandujan, we hope that we got you thinking. हम फिर मिलेंगे कल right here on Radio D Hotties. Don't go anywhere. Keep it on the Radio D Hotties app on iOS and Android. Download कर लीजिएगा. Or you can catch up on more such shows on our YouTube channel right here. There will be recommended videos. Watch it. Enjoy. Good night.
Chabba khair and a pyar bhara.
Mwah.
इशारा